Hey everybody, Tim here with today's episode of Star Trek Voyager, Season 3, Episode 22, Real Life. So this episode is comparable to The Next Generation. It could be argued that a lot of Star Trek in general is kind of remade over and over again. Even The Next Generation, we saw a lot of remakes of the original series. The first example that comes to my mind is like the murder mystery, where a person is accused of murder that they didn't do, is seen in every single Star Trek franchise. For this one, this is comparable to The Next Generation in the episode where Data creates a daughter, the character of Lull. And spoilers for this episode. In that one, Data creates this daughter, shows her around. She kind of evolves faster than him. And then at the end, her neural pathways start breaking down and she dies. And even though Data's like in there doing surgery, like the Admiral that I hated in that episode is talking about, like his hands moved so fast that I couldn't even see them, but the pathways still broke down faster. And it's a very intense moment seeing Data lose his daughter. So this episode is kind of a remake of that one, whereas in this case, the Doctor, who does have emotions, who does have a personality, does not have a family because he's still not a living person. He is just a hologram. And so he's talking to Kes. Well, we first see his family, and it's very like Leave It to Beaver, the Brady Bunch, insert cliche 60s TV show here, where it's very picture perfect. They're all standing in a row and they're all smiling, and I'm going to do my homework and yay, gee whiz. So the Doctor goes to Kes, who has a new hairstyle, which technically we did see it in the last episode, but that episode was such like a hot mess where it was everywhere in time that I didn't bring it up because I kind of forgot. Whereas in this one, for the rest of the, like, as long as she's in the series, she does have this longer hairstyle, which I don't actually like. I like her more with the short hair. I like the pixie cut. So anyways, Kes and B'Elanna decide to go to the Doctor's for dinner, and they absolutely hate it. B'Elanna, even like during dinner, was like, nope, freeze program, not doing this, not today. And she's like, no, your family's too perfect. This is not what a family is. Like, people actually might say they want this, but people don't even want this. And it's kind of funny because the wife is like, what did you think, Kenneth? And it's like, okay, so how many names has the Doctor had at this point? So B'Elanna kind of rewrites the program, and the Doctor decides to go home and kind of see his family. Well, now his daughter is just whiny, and his mom or his wife is all stressed out and has to go to work. His son is like this preteen angst where he like wants to be a Klingon, and he's like just angsty and raw. And I think this might be the first time we've actually seen Klingons in Voyager. I have to think about it. I know there was the episode where B'Elanna split in two and we saw a Klingon there, but this is the first time I think we've seen other Klingons besides B'Elanna. So there's the Doctor. This whole episode is basically the Doctor just kind of dealing with all of those relationships, and then as we get towards the end, his daughter ends up she plays sports, Prometheus Squares, and she falls and hits her head, and she's dying. Like they can't repair that sort of a brain damage. And the Doctor, like, as she's dying, says, like, nope, freeze program, and walks away from the problem. And everybody's like, you have the luxury to do that. And he even says, like, well, maybe with my next family, I'll do something different. And I think it was Paris, is like, you have the luxury to do that, but most of us don't. Like, we have to deal with those situations. And let me tell you, as somebody, like, my mom died, my grandparents have died, like, I've had a lot of death in my family, and it is something that's very difficult, and you wish you could just be like, no, I'm not dealing with this, and you can turn off the holodeck program and go to a different life, but you can't. That's not the way life works. And I was really happy that they did have the Doctor go back and actually see his daughter pass away with his wife and with his son, and just kind of get closure to that story. It was a very impactful moment, and I think it was a really well done scene. Like I said, I personally like the episode with the Data and Lull a little bit more, but I think the way that the Doctor episode was handled was done really well. Below all of this, there's just a subplot about a gateway to a space between subspace and outer space, and Paris goes there and he comes back. I did not think it was very interesting. In fact, I felt like it kind of like just spaced out the story a little bit because it didn't really do anything. For those who have seen this one, what did you think about the Doctor and his family? What did you think of it compared to Data and Lull? Go ahead, let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time for Distant Origin.